Here's the truth nobody talks about. While everyone chases the latest social media trends, nearly half the entire internet runs on a tool that launched in 2003. WordPress powers 43% of all websites on the planet, and Google's algorithms have essentially been trained on WordPress content for over 2 decades. When you build on WordPress, you're not just choosing a platform, you're speaking the native language of the world's largest search engine. Stay with me after this 3-second break, because I'm going to show you exactly how to use this to your advantage.
Brought to you by Republish AI, the WordPress SEO plugin that grows organic traffic on autopilot.
Let me tell you something that might surprise you. In a world obsessed with the newest, shiniest digital tools, one of the most powerful things you can do for your online visibility is something that's been around for over 2 decades. I'm talking about WordPress, and specifically, I'm talking about running a blog on it. Now, I know what you might be thinking. A blog? Isn't that kind of old school? And I get it. We live in an age of TikTok and AI-generated everything. But here's the thing. Search engines don't care about what's trendy. They care about what works. And WordPress blogs work. Let me give you some numbers I find genuinely fascinating. WordPress powers approximately 43% of all websites on the internet. That's not a typo. Nearly half of the entire web runs on this single platform, from small personal blogs to massive enterprise sites like the New York Times and BBC America. When you see adoption at that scale, it tells you something profound. But here's what really matters. Google's algorithms have essentially been trained on WordPress content for years. The search engine crawlers know how to read WordPress sites. They understand the structure. When you build on WordPress, you're speaking a language that Google already understands fluently. So what does this mean for your SEO results? First, there's what I call the infrastructure advantage. When you set up a WordPress blog, you're not starting from scratch. You're inheriting 20 years of optimization. The platform generates clean semantic HTML code by default. It creates logical URL structures. It handles sitemaps and metadata, and all those behind-the-scenes elements that search engines use to rank your content. Think about it this way. If you were building a house, you could pour your own foundation and hope you got the engineering right. Or you could build on a foundation tested by millions of people and refined by the smartest developers in the world. WordPress is that foundation. Now, I want to be direct with you. WordPress itself won't magically make you rank #1 on Google. What it does is remove the technical barriers that often prevent good content from being discovered. You still have to run the race, but WordPress makes sure nothing is holding you back. One critical factor in SEO is crawlability. Can Google's bots actually find and read your content? You'd be amazed how many websites accidentally block search engines or create structures so confusing that crawlers give up. WordPress handles this elegantly. It generates XML sitemaps, creates clean internal linking structures, and organizes content in ways that make sense to both humans and machines. Then there's site speed. Google has been explicit that page load time is a ranking factor. WordPress, when configured properly, is remarkably fast, and the ecosystem of caching plugins and performance tools available is unmatched. This brings me to plugins, which are honestly one of WordPress's greatest strengths for SEO. If you're not familiar, plugins are add-ons that extend WordPress's functionality. Think of them like apps for your website. The most famous SEO plugin is probably Yoast SEO, downloaded over 500 million times. There's also Rank Math, which offers similar optimization features. And then there's Republish AI, which takes a completely different approach. It uses AI agents to automatically research keywords, write SEO-optimized content, generate images, build internal links, and publish to your blog on autopilot. These tools take advanced SEO techniques that used to require developer expertise and make them accessible to anyone. A decade ago, implementing proper SEO infrastructure required hiring a developer. Today, a complete beginner can have a technically optimized blog within an hour. But let's step back and talk about why blogging itself matters so much for SEO, because this is really the heart of the matter. Search engines exist to answer questions. When someone types a query into Google, Google's job is to find the most relevant, helpful answer. And here's the key insight. Every blog post you publish is a potential answer to someone's question. Think about the math. A business website with 5 static pages gives Google 5 opportunities to match your site with someone's search. Now imagine you start a blog and publish 1 post per week for a year. Suddenly, you have 52 additional pages, each targeting different keywords, each creating a new pathway for customers to discover you. You've increased your surface area in search results tenfold. This is what SEO professionals call building topical authority. When you consistently publish quality content about a specific subject, search engines recognize you as an authoritative voice, and they reward authority with higher rankings. A single blog post might rank for dozens of keyword variations. Multiply that across a body of content built over weeks and months, and you're looking at thousands of ranking opportunities. WordPress makes this effortless from a technical standpoint. Every post automatically gets its own URL, metadata, and sitemap entry. The platform handles categorization and tagging that helps search engines understand relationships between your content. All you have to do is write. Now, I want to address something that holds many people back. They worry about technical complexity and horror stories about hosting nightmares and security vulnerabilities. These concerns aren't entirely unfounded, but here's my honest assessment. The technical demands are manageable for anyone willing to put in a few hours of learning. The trade-off is a platform that gives you complete control over your SEO destiny. With website builders like Wix or Squarespace, you're limited to whatever SEO features they decide to give you. With WordPress, you can implement virtually any SEO strategy that exists. And speaking of strategy, let's talk about backlinks. These are links from other websites pointing to yours, and they remain one of the most powerful ranking factors. Here's the brutal truth. If you only have a static website with a few service pages, why would anyone link to you? A blog changes everything. When you publish genuinely useful content like how-to guides, original research, and comprehensive resources, you create something worth linking to. Those backlinks don't just help individual posts rank, they boost your entire domain's authority. This is the beautiful compound effect of blogging for SEO. Let me also mention mobile optimization. Google uses mobile-first indexing, meaning it primarily uses your mobile site for ranking. WordPress themes today are overwhelmingly responsive by default, automatically adapting to different screen sizes. The community has embraced mobile optimization in ways many other platforms haven't. But I want to circle back to something fundamental, because it's easy to get lost in technical details. The ultimate purpose of SEO is not to trick search engines. It's to connect valuable content with people who need it. When you run a WordPress blog well, you're creating genuine value for real human beings. You're answering their questions and solving their problems. The SEO benefits flow naturally from this value creation. WordPress seems to understand this at an architectural level. It's designed for publishing content humans want to read. The SEO friendliness isn't bolted on as an afterthought. It's woven into the platform's fabric. Finally, I need to be honest about mindset. Running a WordPress blog for SEO is a long-term game. You're not going to publish 5 posts and suddenly dominate search results. SEO compounds over time. A blog post you write today might take weeks to fully reach its ranking potential, but it will continue working for you for years afterward. I have blog posts 5 years old, still generating significant traffic. WordPress is ideally suited for this long-term perspective. It's stable, mature, and isn't going anywhere. The content you create today will still be accessible and optimized years from now. So here's my summary, distilled to its essence. WordPress gives you the technical foundation search engines understand and reward. It provides the tools, through plugins and built-in features, to implement both basic and advanced SEO strategies. It offers flexibility to create comprehensive, interlinked content that builds topical authority, and it connects you to an enormous community of knowledge and support. Running a WordPress blog isn't the only way to succeed with SEO, but it's one of the most proven, practical, and accessible paths available. The platform has earned its dominance. The numbers don't lie. If you're serious about growing organic search visibility, WordPress deserves serious consideration. The upfront investment in learning will pay dividends for years. And really, isn't that what we're all looking for? Not quick fixes, but sustainable approaches that build real value over time.